I sent you the link. All right, it is 4:59 on a Sunday afternoon. Nobody can say that we're late because I specifically hit the button to go live before 5 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Truly appreciate it. Matt, what's going on?
Stevie didn't send me the link.
What do you mean? I sent you the link.
On WhatsApp?
No, I sent it to your Gmail.
Oh, okay.
It's a Google sheet.
2026 mail.
It's a Google sheet. You hit share and it goes to Gmail. No?
I get it. You hate me. It's fine.
I mean, listen, I'm not trying to make your life difficult.
Are you sure about that?
I mean,
Stevie, you sure about that? I'm excited to be here, man. I'm just giving you crap. Am I streaming? I am streaming. Okay, good. Glad to be here, man. Much appreciated for you having me on. It's gonna be a fun time. First week check-in.
First week check-in.
For the small challenge portfolio. It's gonna be a good time.
So before we do anything, thank you everybody for being here. And please read the disclaimer. Don't do any dumb shit that we're about to do. We have no idea what we're doing with our lives or our portfolios. This is specifically for entertainment and educational purposes only. So take a beat, pause it, read the disclaimer. Thank you very much. Charles, what's going on? June, what's going on? Who else is here? Venom, Rusty, Parsval, Mantis, Big Show. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. So, Matt, I figured it was dressed like Matt Day, so I got a Matt shirt out. And, of course, you're muted.
I figured it was Be Like Steve Day. So you know what I got, Steve?
Well, you're wearing a T-shirt like me, and I'm wearing a button-down like you. Oh, what do you got there? What you got there?
I want chicken. I want liver. Bakery, please.
Whoa! I love it. You're a good kid. All right.
I didn't really. For some reason, I thought this podcast was gonna be later.
We talked on the phone.
I know. I don't. Mentally, in my I heard you. I was prepared, kind of, because I haven't really filled in the spreadsheet yet. But I was prepared to do the podcast, and I was like, I don't know why I thought it was like Saturday late night with Steve, 8:30 p.m. Let me get some. So like, I don't know if I'm gonna eat these on stream or not.
Well, you know what, Matt? Industry is at 9 p.m. You can have them during industry.
I need to catch up, Steve. I still need to finish Billions.
I don't understand what's going on, Matt. I just don't understand this.
I'm sorry that I'm slow.
I mean, I feel like you're slacking.
Some might say.
Some might say. All right, let's give everybody what they came to see. How horrible we are at the small portfolio challenge.
Wait, how did you do naked options? Okay, I like that. When you say naked options, you mean those are long calls. Got it.
Well, yep. If you consider I didn't put a date on. These are only 2 weeks out.
It's failure, Steve.
So how about this? Do you want me to explain the sheet to everybody and show what I did?
Yes.
And then you can kind of just fill your shit out?
Yeah.
Okay. 2-6. Okay. So here is what I did in week 1 of the small portfolio challenge. And if you have not tuned in previously, Matt and I are in a competition for 2026. It's going to be 51 weeks because we started it after the first week to see if we can outperform the market and who can do better. So this is where I am at after week 1. We're going to be doing an update every Sunday. My portfolio is currently up 1.47% I am in the black by $146.62. And the majority of it is from option income. So I'm going to walk everybody through everything that I did, give you a inside look at the madness, and we'll see what happens. So we'll start in on the cash secured puts. I sold BM&R cash secured put, which got closed out. I currently have 2 BM&Rs open that close on Friday. I also have one for Zeta that closes on Friday. So I have $7,750 tied to cash secured puts right now. The BM&R puts that are sold right now are at a strike of $28.50. Zeta is at $20.50. And these are currently teetering on Stephen getting assigned. Now, I generated $162.35 in option income. What I did with that capital is I am playing SoFi into earnings. I bought one naked call option that expires on February 6th. SoFi, I believe, reports on January 30th, if I remember correctly. It is before the 6th. So I paid $84.66. This was free money on the house. We're down 18.5%. Everything slid. Not worried about it because it is at a 26.50 strike. I should probably put that in here somewhere. But 26.50 strike, I believe. I'll look at the account and I'll add a column. I also purchased one share of QQQI and one share of PDI. They generate monthly dividend income. QQQI has a 13.69% yield. PDI has a 14.62% yield. So I have not bought any equities with my 10,000. I took the premium that I generated and bought a naked call and these two individual shares. The way that the portfolio is looking, I have $2,250 in cash right now sitting there idle that I need to figure out what to do with. I have $7,750 tied to cash secured puts that expire on Friday. I have an additional $5.13 from the remaining option income that I got from all the cash secured puts, and I'm waiting on the first dividends to roll in. So currently, when I add everything up, I am up $146.62. This could change at the end of the week if Zeta comes in and if I get assigned at $20.50 and if Zeta's at 19, all that option income basically makes me even. So we'll see what happens with Zeta. We'll see what happens with BM&R. And I got $2,255.13 combined. Maybe I start buying some Meta. It crossed my mind. That's where I'm at. I'm just selling call or puts right now, generating income, trying to buy some income in income producing assets, taking a moonshot on SoFi and Team Noto that he's going to do something in Q4 when they report. And that's the way that the account is structured at the moment. Matt, what are your thoughts? What, if you had to grade this, what would you give it as a grade?
I think you're off to a good start, Steve.
I mean,
you already got some stuff closed out. I don't have anything closed out. Everything's open.
My portfolio trackers do look nice. I will give myself some credit on that.
I haven't gotten my portfolio tracker to work yet. So it'll be interesting to see where I'm at.
I've got my P&L statement here. Got my option and dividend income here. Got all the portfolio allocations. I mean,
I'm slacking so far.
76% is tied to cash secured puts right now.
I mean, I'm about the same, actually. I think, if anything, we're pretty equivalent on how much cash we have and then how much is tied up in cash secured puts.
So what does everybody think in the chat? Are you liking the moves that I made? Are you not liking the moves? What's everybody thinking? I will make this. I'm going to make this available for all the members, and I think Matt, you should make this available for the members of your channel in case they want to follow along. We'll set it on viewer only,
Yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool.
and then they can also, if they like the tracker, they can use it. So we'll do that after the show.
I actually do like this tracker a good bit. I might try to make something bigger for my personal portfolio, and I know Tevis gave me something that he's working on as well, so I need to test that out.
Yeah, I haven't got. I told him I was going to do it. I didn't get around to it yet.
I'm trying to see if everything's tracking appropriately. So income from options, yes, I'm pretty certain. Yep, that sounds about right. Minus purchase from options, got it. But then you have the naked option value, got it. So that's saying 32 minus 33. So the income minus the purchase, remaining cash from option. Oh, okay, that got it. You have the naked option value. So you have current value is what? Let's see, M30, which is options positions, got it, plus M29, which is the equity, which I don't have any. Yep. 28, which is the cash. Yep, that makes sense. 31.
Everybody,
Naked
Matt
option
didn't do his
value.
homework assignment.
Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm slacking. Minus remaining cash. Got it, because you're using. Okay, that makes sense.
My formulas are on point, Matt. Don't worry about my formulas. Oh,
What
and
I'm
once again, I'm a liar. Okay, we all knew that Steve is a liar because the S&P didn't hit 7,000. I misspoke. The call option that I bought on SoFi is at a 29 strike, not 26.50. I don't know why I thought it was 26.50. It's 29. So I'm going to add a column on the naked options, and we're going to put this in there so we can remember as a mental note.
So yeah, the portfolio for me is looking pretty decent, Steve.
Yeah. So are you ready to share your homework assignment?
I am. Let me just make sure I exit out of everything proprietary for me.
Everything proprietary. Interesting.
What company it is, so that maybe they'll sponsor us. I think I know Soxel is direction, right?
Something
like that. Okay.
Share whenever you're ready, Matt.
So I don't have mine showing up as beautiful as yours. What I can share is what I had done. To share it, Steve.
And I'm waiting for Spencer to make another image. I feel like she makes an image at least once a show to make us laugh.
You are helping me make a wish, kid. Yep. Everyone loves Steve, but they love to endure the ads. My channel doesn't have ads. So come over to my channel because my channel's better than Steve's.
You're such a good role model, Matt.
So I went, I'm obviously hemorrhaging cash on this one. I wrote 2 contracts for like a little bit more than $350 a piece, or bought 2 contracts rather, a little bit more than $250 a piece. Sorry, $350 a piece. So these are the triple leverage NASDAQ 100s. I don't recommend these, obviously, for the faint of heart, because it will be very volatile. But this was hoping that we continue to see strength going into January, February timeframe with the markets, and we haven't. So it's kind of obviously down in that respect. But my put options are actually up a pretty decent bit, and I might actually close them out to begin the week and maybe look for new ones, because I think some of them are already up like 50%. I think Next Decade is up 50%. We had a good run on Friday and even Thursday as well for these, but these are pretty decent yields on cost. So I did the $5 put option for next decade. I wrote 4 of them for about $2,000 in total. So 4 times 5, right? It's 20. So it times 100, right? So 2,000 in that. I wrote 2 contracts, I believe, for Serve. That was for $12 strike price. So that's locking up about $2,400. I generated about 128.65, and I'm saying what I'm actually generating. I'm not including fees and stuff like that because otherwise you'd be more. But I'm just calculating what I actually entered as a credit into my account, and
Yeah, you're
then
taking commission out. Same way I took commission.
commission
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, some people are like, oh, you get off of that and stuff for taxes. I'm like, I'm not that smart, so I just like to say, what's actually coming into the bank account. So there's that. I think Serve also did well on Friday. It could have just been sometimes with these options and the lack of volume. Sometimes it'll trade like a weird value where somebody might get lucky, and so it might skew the option value. I don't know how liquid the 50% up is on this, but if it is, I might take my profit because otherwise I'm just going to lock that up for literally another month when I'm already up 50%. There's likely other things that I could re-roll that on or rewrite on that would probably generate. So if I close it out, I'm looking at a potential, 2% locked in, potential 3.5% locked in there for next decade. This SOXL is also doing rather well. This one, I wrote 1 contract at the 52 strike for 11% capital up front, and that locked up $5,200, but that was 260 bones there. So that all in total generated about $587. And then if you look at, I don't have any equity positions, but if you look at my TQQQ, I used a lot, even more. I dipped into the cash reserves to be able to buy this TQQQ, and the current value is only 516. So technically, no bueno, Steve.
Technically, no bueno. So you are up 3.72%, whereas I'm up only 1.47%. You're in the lead, sir.
A good point. What is the strike on TQQQ? Did I put that in there?
But you did go significantly out on next decade and Serve. Those are not expiring until 220.
I might have to update this.
This is what happens when you don't do your homework. Can you fix the spelling, please? WREOTE is not a real word, sir.
Damn headset, man. I gotta fix it.
Yeah, why are you using a headset?
Because, Steve, if
I don't
we listen
understand.
to anything, if we listen to CNBC or something, there's gonna be an echo.
No, there's not.
I'm not smart, Steve. Just leave me alone.
There's no echo on mine when I play it.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
Why do I keep doing that?
While Maddie finishes this off, what's everybody thinking? And what do you think we should be doing next week? Ooh, when do the quarters arrive? Supposedly they get delivered on Thursday. I will be driving to the office on Friday. So if I can get my act together over the weekend, we will go hunting for silver. I got to get a boom arm and a second camera. I realize the second camera that I have is not going to hook into a boom arm, which is a little bit of a problem. Is I want to be able to show the rolls of quarters while you guys see me also. So I got to figure that out. Yeah, I'm using a Logi right now. I'll probably get another one, the same one I have.
You're a good role model, Steve.
Not as good as you.
But I'm going to put, and you have it. Nobody can edit it automatically, right? Just me and you.
No, you need, if you're gonna share it, you have to only share it on viewer mode. They'll be able to down. What the hell? I'm going to take all your money, LOL, all your quarters. What the fuck?
Who said that? Spencer?
My wife.
Eat shit, Steven. That's funny as hell. Oh, it's Steve, dude, we already got some people viewing.
I mean, I guess I'm going to be left with the $50 that I ordered.
I like it. I like it. How do I see? Okay, add people. You just copy the link?
Um,
I'm gonna make it right now. So anybody that's a member of mine, if you were really
all right, so
interested,
we're doing it now for everybody.
you already have it. You already have people looking at it.
Do I?
Yeah, if you look, there's already
I
people
have
that have.
you looking at it. I don't have anybody else looking. I didn't put this out yet.
I see a bunch of people clicking on it. Benitzer, Suzram.
Oh, maybe I
Nishan,
did put it out.
Energia HN,
Let me go to YouTube.
Drew Idea. Got some peeps.
Oh, I did put it out. Look at that. I'm
Steve's so efficient, guys. He doesn't even know.
Forgot that I did this last week.
Steve is so efficient that he just forgets.
Try to be.
Anyone that wants to follow along with the small portfolio challenge with that dividend.
So in order to see these, you have to be a member of Matter My Channel, and you will see the link in the post, and you can click on it and you can download it.
Are we gonna do like a who's gonna win? I think it'd be fun if we do a poll on our members. Who's gonna win month one? I know we started January late, but
yeah.
And I guess technically we can update it. How are we gonna do? So Amit's New York meetup is on one of the Sundays. We're supposed to check in with everybody.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to take that weekend off, or we're
not gonna do it live.
I mean, it's gonna be a little hard to do it live when we're at the fucking meetup.
I'll fucking bring my laptop. I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah, so we're just gonna freaking sit at the bar and fucking do it live.
Yeah, fuck everybody.
I think that would be not good.
Yeah, I don't know if we have like a ballroom. I honestly have no idea.
So
I assume that Amit rented out like a massive warehouse, so we could throw a rave. That's what I envision.
So I think we will skip that week, or do it Monday night.
I think I'm flying out Monday morning, so that might work. Okay. Monday night.
Okay.
Steven the Milkman, Gorilla, or Maddie the White House.
So you have not bought any positions.
I'm poor, Steve.
You're legitimately going at this as just a freaking cash account machine like me.
Some say I'm making my way downtown, walking fast. Faces passing. I'm homebound.
Some would say.
I contemplated, and I just couldn't find anything.
So I am thinking I'm going to make a move this week.
I thought you were going to say movie. I was like, what movie are you making, Steve?
I'm going to make a move this week. I think I'm going to buy some Meta because of how freaking low it is.
I don't hate that.
I
See,
mean,
now that you said it, if I also do it,
you can do it. Nobody's stopping you.
let me sneak on Steve's position.
Nobody's stopping you.
Barbell Capital. PDI, man.
PDI, I like that fund. So, Matt, you are in the lead. Do you think you're going to still be in the lead come the end of the month?
Probably
Or
not.
is the market going to go kaplooey on Tuesday because of President Trump playing hardball?
Well, that's what I'm curious how it's going to shape up with that. I think it'll get worse before it gets better, Steve. I'll say that.
I feel like this is going to be Liberation Day part 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was kind of very surprised when I said something like that on a stream with you last week. I think it was on Tuesday. People were like, "Really? You think that there's going to be a 20%, 15 to 20% drawdown?" And I said, "I don't think we've seen the end of tariffs," and here we are. So, I don't want to say I'm a fortune teller, but if I had a crystal ball,
You may be a fortune teller.
it'd be all cloudy and stuff in there.
You may be a fortune teller. It's cool. I get it.
Might be a time traveler.
I get it. Like Barron.
Did you see the Kai Trump interview? I only saw clips of it, but did you see the Kai Trump interview with Paul Logan or Logan Paul?
I saw some clips.
Yeah, she's like, "Is Barron a time traveler?" And she was like, "No."
Yeah, what's she gonna say? Yes. That would have been freaking. Imagine if she said yes just to screw with people. All the conspiracies that would have happened.
Dude, if I were her, I would have. She's very well media trained, but I love trolling with people, so I probably would have said like, no, we don't know for sure.
The media would have fucking went nuts.
I don't know. Interesting. So Meta. You got me thinking, because if the market's really, it depends how aggressive the market takes a tumble on Tuesday. Because if it does, which I don't know, I don't trade normally, right? I kind of just take what, you know what I mean? I normally just take the punches that the world gives me, and then I act, thinking 10 years down the road. But now I have a timeline. Like, I have to be not only trying to beat you on a monthly basis, but on an annual basis. Part of me is wondering if it's even, you know what I mean? So it's like, or do I just keep doing my own thing and just, not try to force it?
Well, I'm going to shift gears for one moment. I have breaking news. I may have to denounce myself as a Yankee fan. Lifelong Yankee fan, and I'm seeing news that I want to put my fist through a wall with. The Yankees have made an internal decision not to engage in a bidding war for Cody Bellinger. They believe that they made a fair offer for 5 years, $160 million, including 2 opt-outs. They are prepared to let Bellinger walk. If Bellinger walks and goes to the Mets, I'm finding Brian Cashman. Like,
what are you gonna do, Steve?
I'm gonna buy him a hot dog. Like, I have had a vendetta against this whole management team since 01. Since
2001?
Since 01. Vendetta. When they got rid of Tino Martinez and brought Giambi on.
You didn't like that move? I like Giambi.
No, I didn't like that move because we needed a right fielder because Paul O'Neill retired. Barry Bonds was a free agent. They should have brought Bonds into right, plugged a hole, kept Tino. We had no reason to get rid of Tino.
And Giambi
Giambi,
was first base. Yeah.
garbage. And everybody's saying to me, "You're crazy. He's going to wear 25. His hero's the Mick." I was so angry. I've not let the grudge go. I haven't let it go. If they let Bellinger freaking walk, I'm going to be so pissed.
Will you change teams?
I can't change teams, but I don't know what I'm going to do. The reality is I don't want Aaron Judge running around in center field. I want Bellinger to play center. Judge is 6'8", 280. Guy should not be playing center field. The only saving grace will be if they bring up Spencer Jones, who I think is going to be a freaking stud. So if they do that, I'd rather have Spencer Jones, Ben Rice, and Bellinger in the lineup, and I know that's three lefties, but I don't see any way you even compete with the Dodgers without Bellinger. Like, I'm so angry at this.
I mean, that's $30 million a year. You could free up a lot of cash. I mean, are they going to? It's a lot of things that they can pay for somebody.
Sorry, guys, 6'7", 6'8". When you're that tall, does an inch matter? Sorry, 6'7". I stand corrected.
I mean, if you're as poorly gifted as me, every inch matters. But
anyway, let's get back to stocks. Sorry for detouring. So Tuesday is going to be interesting because the EU is now preparing up to 93 billion in tariffs and other restrictions on U.S. companies in response to Trump's 10% tariff and demands for Greenland.
Do you want to comment on Greenland, or what? I don't really have a comment. I don't know enough about it to really be educated on it.
I don't know. There's only two things I can think of, and I have not researched this at all. It's either military strategic outposts for defense, or they're sitting on a ton of minerals and oil that they haven't been able to mine, and Trump wants to go in and mine everything. It's either natural resources or strategic military placement, or it could be both. Those are the only two things that make sense to me. And I am seeing things about shipping lanes in there that would be included in military strategic outposts.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not as well educated on it though. But I mean, if it really is, I mean, based off of the commentary around it being strategic and military outposts and everything like that, I think it will be really funny if we say back down on this whole EU, like, okay, fine, keep it, whatever. And then Russia or China actually does come in and take it over, which I have no idea how aggressive they have been. You know, I like I said, I'm so uneducated about it, but I will think it's funny because Trump has been right about a lot of things, regardless of whether or not people want to admit it. He's been wrong on things too, right? I'm not saying he's a genius, but you know, I think he was right about being harsher on Russia back in his first term, and unfortunately, look what happened with the escalation in the Ukraine, you know, starting in 2022. So I don't know.
I think the real question is this going to be a taco trade? Is he going to check it out? Or is he sticking to the guns here?
I thought he's been talking about it for too long.
Yeah.
Oh, Steven. These cookies are staring me down.
I don't know. This has disaster written on the market right now. This is going to be very difficult. We saw it happen with Liberation Day. And the fact that the EU is going to put up a big fight, it looks like, I'm worried about where this goes.
I mean, the EU already, the thing that bothers me about the whole thing is the EU already hates the United States. So every post that I see, maybe it's just an X over exaggeration, but even before this whole Greenland thing was coming out, everyone was talking about you know, how bad America is, etc. People saying, why do I interrupt Chris? Because Chris, unfortunately, if you don't interrupt Chris will talk for about 25 minutes. And if you want to know why I interrupt Chris, feel free to listen to Cashflow Chronicles and measure how long I talk in Cashflow Chronicles and how long Chris talks in Cashflow Chronicles. So if I don't interrupt Chris, sometimes we will never change the point. Sometimes I only have an hour to do podcasts.
So Matt, finish your thought.
I just think that the European and Trump relationship has always been very tough, even in his first term. There are some that align well with Trump and they like Trump, but I don't know. I think it's tough. I don't know. For the future benefit of our economy and wanting to utilize Europe as a client base for technology and many other things, you need a good relationship. But the part is, though, like I'm kind of like 50-50. And this is strictly, I'm not trying to get political about it. I'm trying to talk like economics about it. It's like every other week you see how another European nation is trying to sue Google or Alphabet or Amazon or Apple for some obscure reason. And a lot of it's lined around data privacy concerns and things like that. I don't know. I get it. There's obviously you don't want all your data out there in the open being sold, but at the same time, it's like you are also using a free service. So there's give and take. I don't know. But to me, the European Union overregulates things. And so, if you say sanction some of these companies that operate in the EU, like American companies that operate in the EU, that's obviously going to be detrimental to growth. And will have an impact on the US. But at the same time, would the EU actually grow competition? And in their regulatory environment, I think it'd be very tough for them to be able to bypass a lot of the things that the American companies already do so well. There's a reason why there's not many unicorns that come out of the EU, and a lot of unicorns that come out of the United States. And I think it's a lot of overregulation. Which impacts growth and opportunity in the EU.
Well, this is going to be an interesting week. We have the Fed liquidity injection on Monday, FOMC economic report Tuesday. We have the Trump announcement on Wednesday, Fed balance sheet on Thursday, and then on Friday, Japan rate hike decision. This is going to be a volatile week. There is no question about that in my mind. I'm just trying to make sense of everything that's happening, and I don't know that anybody can accurately predict what's going to happen. I mean, we have two big events. Trump tariffs on Europe, Supreme Court ruling on tariffs. I mean, I don't know.
I thought those got delayed until July. What was the Supreme Court ruling on Trump that got delayed till July? Is that something?
I thought it was for next week. They get delayed to July.
I thought it was some court ruling for something was delayed until July. It had to do with Trump.
On Tuesday, the Supreme Court is expected to rule on whether Trump's tariffs are legally valid. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so I'm wrong.
I'm not. I may not be correct on that, but that's what I'm saying. All I know is that we should have dry powder on the sideline because ultimately this will pass. It may not pass for a while, but ultimately it will pass. And if we get a downturn, that's fine with me. I mean, obviously I don't want that, but from an asset perspective, yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because now we have two dynamics to kind of refer this to, right? There's there's the normal way that I like to approach things, which is a long-term view. I look generally beyond the weeks upcoming. I might have a thought as to what they might look like, but I always just kind of invest through the cycle, regardless of what the news is. But now that I have this end date to my $10,000 portfolio, I have to look at it from a completely different lens. It's birthright citizenship that was delayed to July.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Or a student loan. Student loan collection. I don't remember.
Next week, gonna have a lot of updates next week.
The end date being
the
end date. I didn't mean the end date being January 2027, right? When we have a check-in and who won, right?
Lena just came out with the most important news.
They are delicious. I've had them.
Delicious. Absolutely.
Steve's got that fresh cut, man. Everyone wants to look like Steve.
I mean, we got Project X coming soon.
I think people need to zoom in, take a screenshot of it, take it to their barber, and be like, "I want to look like this."
Please don't.
Why not?
I mean, I was gonna wait, but we got Project X coming up, so
I don't have a nice enough shaped head like you, Steve, to be able to sport a cut like that.
I should start shaving my head again.
Shaving your head? What does the boss lady have to say about that?
Doesn't want me to do it again.
You're here first.
Heard here first. So, Matt, moves for this week. If we get volatility, I'll tell you what's on my list. Meta, NVIDIA, those are on the list. And I may take a flyer on Salesforce because it is down so freaking much. I really do believe it's going to turn the corner.
You know who just made a bet on Salesforce and Oracle? I think it might have been Oracle and Salesforce. I forget, but Salesforce is definitely one of them.
Adobe is really cheap. I'm shook about Adobe.
It was that you're right. It was Adobe and it's Salesforce.
I'm shook about Adobe. I think the problem with Adobe is too many people believe that it will get disrupted by Gemini's Nano Banana and Grok's image. Salesforce, I just don't see it getting disrupted. I could be wrong, but these software stocks are selling off. And I'm going to tell you, the most likely scenario is Salesforce puts up a killer Q4. They increase guidance for 26, and they're still one of the cheapest software stocks out there because everybody has this crazy narrative built up in their minds. The reality is that they're 13 billion free cash flow and they're approaching 200 billion market cap. I mean, it is grossly undervalued with no evidence that they are losing deals and no evidence that revenue is reversing and no evidence that margins are condensing and no evidence free cash flow is declining. No evidence. Yet the jury is saying that this is a sell and it is dirt freaking cheap. It's probably going to end up in this portfolio.
You know who's buying, Steve? Both of those names?
Not you.
That's true, but somebody just publicly came out in the past couple of days to say that they were.
I did not hear this. Who?
Jeremy Lefebvre.
Who the hell's that?
Jeremy? Financial education? Jeremy Lefebvre?
Never heard of him.
No? Okay. Guy that lives in Vegas. We played poker with him at his house in October.
Oh, the guy from whatchamacallit.
Millennial Money or whatever it was.
Yeah, with Graham Stephan and those guys. Gotcha. Okay, now I know who you mean.
Yeah, he put out a video talking about specifically, what he was just like, well, AMD just did this, right? look what happened to AMD. AMD got short to hell, and then people realized, oh, actually, AMD is necessary for the upcoming economy. So, and then he thinks that AMD is going to keep running, potentially 300, 400. But yeah, he talked a little bit more about Salesforce and what's the Adobe.
Yeah, I don't hate the Salesforce play. I don't hate the Adobe play, but Adobe scares me more than Salesforce, a lot more. I cannot wait for earnings season to really get in.
It'll be fun, man. I'm curious how Amazon does because the fourth quarter for Amazon always blows it out of the water. And I heard an interesting. I've been trying to keep up with the smart people, and on Dumb Money yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago, whenever they released it, they were talking about AI and everything like that. And good old Chris Camilla not doubled down, but he basically said Amazon isn't done yet. He's like, there hasn't been a lot of movement associated with the AI trade and robotics trade for Amazon, but he's like, now Claude coming out with their latest rendition, that is almost heavily reliant and only solely reliant on AWS. And so he's like, if people start to pick that up and use it, that's going to be very positive for AWS, which obviously has an impact on Amazon's growth.
I mean, you know my theory on Amazon that it will be the first $1 trillion company, that they will expand margins, and they will become a $6 to $7 billion company before the decade is over.
Yeah, I think it'll be the first $10 trillion company, personally.
You do? Interesting.
Yep,
Interesting.
I do.
I wouldn't be surprised. I do think NVIDIA is going to get there before them, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, would NVIDIA have to double the amount of sales for them to get there?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen in the next 4 years.
They're going to double their sales?
Yeah. I mean, they're going to increase their revenue by 50% this year. So you're already, you're halfway there after 1 year.
It's fucking insane.
I mean, that's why I'm so bullish NVIDIA. And I'm actually halfway done with my first article for X. It'll be out tonight, everybody. And it is all about the AI trade. And when you look at Taiwan Semi, them expanding CapEx by 13 to 15 billion this year, they have the clearest visibility into this. They're not expanding their CapEx spend to build everything out further unless the orders from Broadcom, AMD, and NVIDIA aren't flowing. And this isn't a one-time thing. This is going to be an ongoing thing because you don't expand your footprint by that much to have those reoccurring ongoing costs for just 2 years of a boom-bust cycle. So after what TSM said, I'm fully convinced that this has even more legs than I thought it did. Now, I'm not as far as where Tanner is, but I am increasing my projection from 2 to 3 years to probably 3 to 5 years now on the continued build out before we see CapEx plateau. After everything that we heard at CES and everything that I heard on the Taiwan Semi earnings call, I just think it's 3 to 5 years before we see that plateau. Because think about it. We didn't see that type of CapEx growth during any of the previous cycles of DRAM or anything. So for them to come out that much, I mean, they're talking about almost 30% in 1 year expansion. For them, that's a big amount.
Yeah. I am afraid that I might be wrong on my initial thought of there being a dip at some point.
A dip could happen. Like you mean on share price or CapEx?
No, like actual like people pausing and waiting for things to come through.
I mean, I can confidently, and no, look, I don't know what's going to happen. I could be wrong. We can all be wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm much more inclined to say that nobody's pausing, especially because of how much more powerful both rack systems from NVIDIA and AMD are going to be. Nobody's taking their foot off the gas. Everybody's going to buy these up like hotcakes. They're in a prisoner's dilemma. The reality is, if one buys, they all buy. Nobody can be left behind.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Unless more companies start to come out of the woodwork like Oracle. Which Oracle was screwed because of the whole trying to build out for OpenAI and stuff like that. And I don't think that they fulfilled their promise. And I think OpenAI just went to everybody else and also got deals, right? And that's part of the reason why I think everyone's trying to do their build out is so that OpenAI can kind of, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's going to go a little bit further for me when the earnings calls are done because I do think we're going to get new RPO numbers. I think we're going to get new CapEx numbers. I think we're going to get a lot of strong guidance. And this is something I think has more legs than I originally thought. I really do.
I am curious because we've only seen CapEx estimates grow.
Yep.
And so now that we have an additional quarter of soaking time, since the last time we heard from Meta and many others, some of them are approaching over $100 billion in capital expenditure, believe it or not. I'm curious if they raise or if they go to 110, 115, 120, 130. And I think a lot of that's going to stem from, are they actually seeing, large amounts of return on capital invested off of these massive amounts of infrastructure build out? If they are, then I feel like they should continue. If they aren't, then I think it's tough. And you might see that plateauing of CapEx for a little bit, if not pullback. But I don't know. I'm not going to change my estimate. I'm not going to change my estimate. I said second half 26 or first half 27. I think there's going to be some sort of dip in the company performance, right? Not the stock performance. I still feel like there's some macroeconomic things that are going to happen that will impact stock performance.
And there very well could be.
But that doesn't mean I'm short the market, guys. Like, keep in mind, like I am always bullish market, always putting money in. I'm never I'm just somebody that, like, you have to think, like, I'm always putting money into the markets. It's just, what do I think? And it might mean that I lean into certain parts of the market versus others. I don't know. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, oh, Amazon is going to take a massive dump, so I'm not investing. It's like, no, I think, I'm thinking 10 years down the road. Yes, there might be a dip, but that doesn't mean we're going to persist through the dip eventually in company performance and come back roaring, just like we did in 2022 with Amazon. If you guys remember that whole e-commerce versus sales chart, it went from 10% to 15, 16, 17% in the matter of months in terms of the amount of US retail. And so Amazon started building a shit ton of warehouses. And the next thing you know, it was like, oh, we maybe started to build way too many warehouses. Let's wait a little bit before so they pulled back on CapEx. And with that pullback in CapEx, now that's why everyone's like, holy crap, this company is actually generating a lot of EBITDA and a lot of cash from operations. And their free cash flow skyrocketed because of it. Before, they were doing something very comparable, which is as much money as you're making in terms of ops cash, put it right back into the business. And it wasn't really until this recent AI push that they started to shrink their free cash flow again.
Well, Matt, one of us is going to be right.
I think both of us will be right. I mean, we're both saying the same thing if you think about it. Like, there's going to be a crap ton more usage in the next 3 to 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years. So you can't say that they're going to zero or anything like that.
I mean, you can say it's going to zero. You always say it's going to zero.
Yeah, but when I say that, I'm generally trolling.
You do like your trolling.
Somebody's got to do it. You have to be like the reason why it's so easy to be like it's going to zero because some people are like Rocket Lab sucks without any like evidence or any that it's like man it sucks. Like okay, well do you have an educated thought on it or are you a 2-year-old? You know, like give me some actual substance where I could be like you have a fair point, sir. This is my counter argument.
Yeah, I know nothing.
That was the same thing with Palantir. Palantir, it's a black box.
That was the stupidest argument I ever heard.
So that's why I would always be like, it's going to zero. Because people were like, meh, they don't actually do anything. They're a consulting company. It's going to zero.
The best was when people tried comparing to Booz Allen Hamilton. I mean, come on.
It's like, yeah, real black box. I use it every day at the office. Black box. You're right. 100%.
Oh, Matt. Freaking black boxes. Well,
I have one behind me. Nah.
You used to have a punching bag next to you.
What happened, Steve? I used to be a boxing champion. Now I'm just a shit podcaster.
You used to have a punching bag next to you.
Did I get it? Do I get into these cookies now? Do I tell you what they are?
What type of cookies? Let's start there.
You know, Steve, I've been going to this bakery. You know, for a while, I would stop going to the bakery because I'm trying to watch my weight, and I have been doing well actually. I got weighed the other day. I went to the doctor just for a checkup, and you're always making some moves. But regardless, they only gave me one piece of parchment.
So what you're saying is we're not going to get cannolis on Saturday?
Well, when I'm in town?
Yeah.
No, of course we are.
I mean, are we going to go?
I'll just eat less. Well, when I'm in New York, I'll probably eat normal, right? But when I'm at home, I've been, you know, I try not to interfere. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, it's like," no, I'm not gonna.
Like I'm down to walk around the city and stuff. I don't know if we can walk all the way down to Mulberry Street, but
this is what we call a Mexican wedding cookie, Steve.
Okay, I need to get down.
It's got some pecans in there.
Michelle has been talking about this for so long.
So there's that. So I have one of those. And then I don't think I need, it doesn't have sugar and stuff on top. I guess it does. This is a peanut butter cookie.
Okay. All right.
This thing's dense.
Yeah, it's a peanut butter cookie, man.
Got a point, Steve. So I don't know. I don't know if I have them now. I wait till I watch Billions. I'm on season 6 of Billions. There's only 7 seasons? 7?
So Prince is in?
Prince is in.
All right.
I don't think I made it this far the first time I watched Billions. So
it is such a good freaking show.
There is 7 seasons. Okay, so I'm a couple episodes in. Okay, there's only 10 episodes in season 6. No, 12. 12. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Billions is one of my favorite shows.
I need to knock it out.
Some would say that you should.
Do you know if our friend Amit Kukreja is doing a future stream tonight?
Well, considering there's no futures for tomorrow.
See, Steve, this is why you pay the big bucks.
I'm pretty sure he'll be doing the future stream tomorrow night.
You know what, Steve? I had to double check if I have work tomorrow. I'm like 80% sure I don't.
I did not realize I did not have work tomorrow until a few people told me.
What are we doing? We doing anything?
Listen, I'll stream with you during the day.
Maybe we start our gaming channels.
A little 1 p.m. stream tomorrow.
A little 1 p.m. stream. I like it. I like it a lot.
So I think we need to go through what investments we want to make. Let's get
in our portfolios or the small portfolio.
No, just in general.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Steve's a streamaholic. Just in general. Well, can I say one thing?
You can say whatever you want. You have the mic.
Steve, some say that I appreciate you. I don't know why I was about to open a Celsius and I'm not even finished.
Can you not drink that shit, please?
Dude, I'm sorry. You're right. I
drink a coffee. Don't. That shit's horrible for you.
You're right, Steve. You're 100% right.
And if you're going to drink a coffee, drink a Starbucks because I'm a shareholder.
No, I have Cafe Bustelo downstairs.
That's some strong stuff.
That's you drink some Cafe Bustelo.
I love that stuff. That's some strong.
I'll be up until 1 p.m. tomorrow on that stream.
That's that straight espresso.
But people are saying that TLT is the way to go, and I think that it's going to be tough. If you asked me last year, I would have agreed, but I think that the thing with TLT, the reason why I think TLT was such a mover in the past was because the pendulum swung so much faster. Now that we're on a slow trajectory downwards, you haven't seen the movement in TLT.
This woman asked, do you have 6 months or not? Because I don't think we get a rate cut until May. And I think TLT will work. I think you got to hold it to the end of next year for it to work, though.
What do you mean work, though?
It's at what, 86?
Yeah.
Work would be getting back to 105, 110. Not just playing it for income.
See, I would have been with you, but I think it's just too slow, Steve.
By the end of next year, basically freaking 23 months.
Because when did we stop raising interest rates? 23?
That area?
And so we are down. I think we are the most aggressive we've been on cutting rates to date. I mean, not most aggressive. Like if you look in recent history, obviously we cut it to zero immediately in any sort of recessionary period. But if it hasn't moved away from 87 yet, and we've already cut by like 2 whole basis points, not 2 whole basis points.
But the reason is because they have so many bonds in there with lower yields that you needed to keep coming down for those yields to match back. I don't see it working until the end of next year.
I'm just cautiously optimistic. Like it worked well in 2019 to 2020 when things got cut, super aggressively. I don't know. I just don't think it's the play.
I don't think it's the play either.
Do you think it actually could make money? You think it's actually decent? I'd rather people buy underlying bonds.
If you hold it for the next 2 years, do I think it's going to be higher than where it is today? Yes. But that's a long time to hold it. And I don't think it's going to outperform other investments that you can make.
I would agree with that. Difference. Steve, some say the futures are open.
How are the futures open?
I think the chat is trolling us.
I think they're trying to troll us.
Some say.
Let's get to these. Thank you, BSMT. Appreciate it. Want to hear more about the Pokemon event. It was a sports card convention that we went to, and Amit had a great time. Everybody had a really good time, and bought a few things. I showed them last night some of the investments I made, and we'll go from there. I'm happy that Amit came. It was interesting to get his take on it. There was a ton of stuff there. It was really cool. Joe, thank you very much. Thoughts on QXO diluting? Yeah, they're diluting to raise more capital because Brad Jacobs wants to do more acquisitions. I mean, long term bullish, it's going to fluctuate for a while, but I think QXO is going to be very, very good going forward. Just
So,
my opinion.
Steve, I've been. Hear me out. I've been trying to find a second derivative of these data center plays. A lot of them have already run, right? So
Vertiv still is inexpensive, my opinion.
I didn't mind Vertiv actually. I remember looking at that. And I'm just looking around like is what second or third derivative companies do you think are worthwhile in this particular area?
All right. So when you start talking like that, you're talking about who's going to benefit from data centers going up, not from companies buying compute. And that's what Matt means by the derivative play. So the first order for me is energy because you just need more natural gas, you need more utility scale, you need more of all that. And also cooling, infrastructure. I think Eden is interesting if you haven't looked at Eden. I like Eden a lot. I like Vertiv a lot. You know, I like Energy Transfer a lot. I actually like NextEra Energy. I need to look more into them again. But companies like Eden should do really freaking well.
Yeah, Eden's surprisingly pretty flat over the last year.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't notice that Bloom had dropped off a cliff, so they were talking about that on Dumb Money the other day. They were talking about how Bloom dropped from 140 to 78 or something like that.
Yeah, it's called no shit.
And it's back up to the 140.
Yeah, I'm shocked it went back up. It was called no shit. Like a lot of these companies have freaking gone gangbusters for no reason. I know everybody is going crazy over fucking Bloom, but the numbers don't make sense. At least not to me. That's why I miss out on those things.
I think it needs to be proven a little bit more, but by the time it's proven, it's already too late probably for me to get in. Did you look into potentially like Digital Realty, Equinix, whatever the hell it's called?
No, I'm not interested in them.
Just because
I
it's
think if you're gonna go that way, you just go realty income shit like that. I don't care about Equinox. I mean, they're not data center plays. At least the last time I looked at them, they weren't. Not data center. I mean, their data centers are rack and stack traditional servers. It's not cloud infrastructure. The last time I looked at them.
Okay.
So it was your traditional data centers, had nothing to do with the AI trade. They're reconfiguring. I don't know enough about what they're doing. I'd rather buy a Nebius at that point. Because the neo clouds, if this whole footprint is real and everything's real, the neo cloud should do very well. And I think Nebius is in an interesting position. Their balance sheet is a lot healthier than CoreWeave's. They have the ClickHouse stuff that's helping them. So the big one is Taiwan Semi. How did none of us go in this?
I don't know. That's surprising because I know Chris was big about it like 2 years ago. Like when him and I first started collaborating, he was big in SMCI, which that was like when SMCI had its big initial run 2 years ago, and then he was big in TSM as well. But I mean, CoreWeave's down from its highs, like it's almost cut in half from 183. 6-7 months ago to 101 right now. Like, it dropped down to 70 at one point in December.
I mean, I bought some Nebius instead of CoreWeave.
You just think that long term Nebius is better?
I like the setup and I like the numbers better for Nebius than CoreWeave. That's my own opinion on it. I think CoreWeave has a ton of debt compared to Nebius. I don't know. What I have thought is going to work with energy has not, and that's troublesome to me. I think there's spots in the market that are overextended. I think there are areas that are value plays. The question is, are the value plays actually going to work out? And I have no idea if they're going to or not.
What about cooling? Does that go back to Eaton, or is Eaton more
Eden
power?
Vertiv.
Eaton really hasn't moved all too much. Looking at it.
No, it hasn't.
But comparatively, like, is it just the price isn't moving, but the underlying stock is actually performing and growing? I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah, the underlying. I mean, I can bring it up.
Pull it up too.
So let me bring Eden up for everybody. So they're expected to grow EPS at a double-digit rate for the next 3 years. Decent amount of growth. And on revenue, 9% this year and 8.5% next year. I mean, they're not a small company. I like them. I like Vertiv a little better, though. But Eden is strong, too. I mean, Vertiv numbers are really, really interesting. So look at this type of growth, Matt, on EPS. They're going to come off 45% for last year, and then this year almost 30%, and then another 24% the following year. Now, that's a ton of EPS growth. And then you look at revenue, it's a lot of revenue growth too. Like, I think Vertiv for the dollar for dollar is just better positioned.
So do you think that this was just a name that was front run? I mean, let me see what it looks like.
I mean, Vertiv consolidated. I think it's inexpensive here, but what do I know? We need more cooling. We need more everything that Vertiv does. The build out's not stopping. I think the value plays in energy, but I think these are easier to own than energy.
So, like, it doubled between beginning of 23. It bottomed out in the beginning, like the middle of 22, and then it doubled basically in 2 years to 2024. And it's kind of been cycling between 250 and 380 for the past year and a half. Obviously, the big pullback was tariffs in Liberation Day in April 2025.
Yep.
And it jumped all the way to 389, and now it's down here at 343. So it seems like in 2023 to 2025, it really got a lot of its value. And then maybe, as it's been kind of wavering, waiting for valuation to kind of catch up a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Look at Vertiv.
Yeah, I think Vertiv's something you can look into.
Vertiv also growing pretty substantially. but has sidelined for the past 3 months.
Yeah, I want to answer one of the questions real quick. So, yeah, I'm big on QQQI. Obviously, I bought one whole share for the small portfolio challenge. The reason I did is because I think it's just a better mousetrap than your traditional call option income funds. The whole premise around them is that they buy the index. So QQQI is the NASDAQ, SPYI is the S&P. They write cover calls on them. They collect the premium, but instead of paying out all the premium, they retain a portion of it and buy out of the money call options. That way, if the market moves, they're not caught flat footed and you benefit in some of the participation. That's why I like them over other ones. They use a call spread to generate income and some appreciation. So I like both of them. I think ultimately they're both going to do well. We saw that QQQI fell with the market, but because of the second layer on the call spread, it was able to rebound as the market rebounded after Liberation Day. So I like both of them for income. They're both 10 to 14% income. So they have my stamp of approval. I own both of them. That's also why it's part of my strategy to use option income in the small portfolio challenge to buy shares of it. That way it can just generate reoccurring income.
I like that.
Uh,
Are you so I will take a look at IESC. I don't know anything about it, to be honest. You know anything about IESC, Steve?
I don't even know what it is.
Sometimes it's useful to look at stuff that doesn't make sense. Been on a run.
Yeah,
9 billion.
I'll look into it.
I don't hate QXO, and I think with interest rates continuing to come down, interest rates are really good, guys. I just got like a bunch of quotes. Not really good, but I got some quotes, and compared to where we were 2 years ago, rates have come down.
They have.
So hopefully this spring we'll be very busy for what was it to say? Are you so question for you, Steve. Are you it seems like in 25 you leaned a little bit more into because I'm not 100% certain on your total allocation of your portfolio. So this is an ignorant question, so I apologize. It seems like in 25 you leaned a little bit more into growth. And I know you're a dividend investor at heart. That doesn't mean you're solely a dividend investor. I recognize that. Is 26 going to be a year where you think that you're going to hyper focus on dividends? Or is it a year where you're going to continue to kind of remain balanced?
Wherever I see value.
So you don't have like a full year. I don't know. Let's just say, for example, you're making $10,000 a year in dividend income. I'm just pulling a number out of the air. You don't have a goal to be like, I want a 20% increase in that.
Not right now. Right now, I am just looking for where I think we can do well. And there's some value plays, there's some dividend plays, but there's also growth plays. I mean, I really like Realty Income. I really like Verizon. Verizon to me, I think you lock in a 7% yield. It's not crazy to think that Verizon can be a $45 stock and go from, I mean, Verizon at 38 is insane to me. And this is something where it annoys me because people are worried about 128 billion in long-term debt, but they seem to forget the fact that it does 50 billion in EBITDA. They do 21 billion in free cash flow, and after paying the 11 billion in dividends, they still have over 9 billion in retained cash flow. They're paying down debt, so I mean, I like Verizon here, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be buying other things. So wherever I see value and a chance to do well, that's where I'm leaning toward right now.
Should we get Hot Ken on here?
So did he text?
He is in the chat.
Is he really? Where is he?
Sharia Del Ken. You don't see him?
Biotech Ken, would you like to come on?
Does he like Biotech Ken? I think he owned it.
No, I mean that's his name, Biotech fucking Ken.
Hot Ken is out. Biotech Ken is in. I wouldn't mind hearing, because I got $2,400 in this. Maybe I just go. I could stand to lose $2,400 and see what Biotech Ken has to offer.
All right, everyone. I'm putting a big motherfucking disclaimer out there right now. Okay.
Prepare to lose all your money if you invest in these stocks.
Prepare to lose all your money.
And your
I am not joking. Ken has done very well. We call him Biotech Ken for a reason. What he talks about is a little too risky for me. But you know what? We're open to ideas. Matt wants to get a flyer or two. So we're going to bring him on and give him the floor and have him pitch us one or two biotech stocks. Now, keep in mind, I know nothing about this shit. So don't ask me questions. I know nothing about this stuff. He actually does all the research with looking through the clinical data trials and everything else. All I can say is fucking Biotech Ken. So I'm going to send the link on WhatsApp, Ken. So just click on it.
Is Biotech Ken going to be out with us at the end of the month? Early Feb?
I don't think so.
Biotech Ken. I'll wait till he gets on. I'll ask him if he hates me. Maybe he's not ready. People are saying they're going to sell their house and do whatever Biotech Ken says.
Can we not do that, please? Can we seriously not do that?
I don't advocate for it either. BTK. Biotech Ken. I like that. BTK.
Biotech fucking Ken.
I want Ken to show me 2,000% returns. I quit my job right now. I work for Ken.
Oh man,
there he is, the myth, the legend. What's going on, dude?
What's up? How are you?
Good, man. I haven't seen you in a minute.
It's been a while.
You're looking younger than last time I saw you.
Am I? I got a cold, so we got that going for us.
Dude, you're always sick.
Always sick, literally. Patient zero with COVID, so
All right, Biotech Ken, the floor is yours. Matt's looking for a flyer.
What you guys want? I mean, I send you guys everything in our chat, and you guys call me sketchy, shady, the boiler water man. And I'm like, if only they knew what's going on.
All right, well, everybody in the chat wants to know what's going on. So what is going
on? I mean, so the sketchy company that Steve had mentioned, or that there's two companies last week that I sent actually to my uncle, my dad, my cousin, and Steve in the group chat, because Steve's our step cousin now. One of them is well, I'm not going to mention that one. Well, I'll mention it, but afterwards. The first one is T-Raw. That's the 13 million market cap. So they're interesting, right? Because their drug is now considerably better than Paxlovid. I think like the p value was less than 0.014 if I recall correctly. Um, the thing is though, you have Paxlovid 2.0 coming, but yeah, it was p less than 0.014. The thing is, though, they applied for BARDA for their bird flu drug, which is, if God forbid there's like a serious outbreak, they stockpile drugs, the U.S. government, so they could potentially be in line to getting, a serious contract with the U.S. government, whether it's, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 million. Now, the other thing is, their trial went from like, barely being fully enrolled to now, over 95% enrollment, right, for COVID, which means, enrollment is ticking up. COVID season is here, or flu season as well. So they're getting a lot of patients. Now, their trial should be reading out relatively soon. But the kicker here is if they get funding, right? Because this company has zero cash. Full disclosure, warrants will be the death of it, in a positive and a negative way. Just because, warrants obviously dilute shareholders. But if they get the funding, they need about 30 to $50 million. Now, if they get that funding, which my bet and my consensus is they are going to get the funding, and the people that I've been speaking with believe that they're going to get the funding, or strongly believe that they're going to get the funding. This is not any, bad information. This is just what people are speculating, right? The funding is going to happen. Now, if they get the funding, I personally think it's going to be a 2x. Who knows, though? It's biotech. It's the Wild West. You guys said it yourselves. It is literally the Wild West. You don't know what's going to happen. And a clinical trial can literally go upside down on you in a snap of a
Seconds.
finger. And that was like that one last summer that I had. I think I sent it to, I don't know if I sent it to all of you guys. I know I sent it to Steven, one of my other uncles. It was Abivax, and I think the date that I sent it was the day that they reported data, or the next day they reported data. And I mean, listen, this thing went up 400% or 500% in a day. No one I did not know that was going to happen. It was either a minus 90% or a plus 400, 500%. And eventually over time, it was going to be a 10x, which it has been a 10x. And now we're waiting on that one to potentially get bought out. There's been a lot of news going back and forth that, Eli Lilly's interested, but you have the French government involved, so who knows? Things take time. Now you have the United States, being aggressive with potential tariffs. So people think that that's going to play an impact into the deal getting done. Who knows? Do I think a deal will get done? Absolutely. Do I think it'll be after maintenance data? Who knows?
This is ABVX you're talking.
Yeah, correct. ABVX. I do think that one could potentially be a 2x, I mean, or at a minimum, 60, 70, 80% maybe this year. The other one that I texted Steve about, and my cousin's like, is this public information? I was like, absolutely, absolutely.
So I made him send the link to where he was getting it from. Because, and the first thing, in all fairness, the first thing you sent was so shady because there was no link. It was just some
It was
random
shady.
person.
I looked back and I was like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah, it was some random person that just said good things coming. And then
Yeah.
like 15 seconds later, we actually got a post on X that had a link to actual
Well,
stuff.
because I
on
was
it.
busy buying my shares, so I wasn't gonna be digging things up for you guys. I was busy buying my position. I was like, they'll get it. They'll get it. So don't worry. That's Cytomex Therapeutics. So people think that one's positive based on things that they've been hearing. And that's because it's a colorectal cancer drug. And just the fact that it hasn't read out yet means that people think like patients' lives, or the progression-free survival is increasing, right? In terms of months. So that's what you're betting on. Um, so who knows? I mean, I think it's going to be positive. I think that one's a 2, 3x potentially. Again, it's biotech. There's a person that like a lot of people in the biotech sector follow, or there's multiple people really. One of them's very sharp. The other one does a like a contest for all the people in the biotech sector that follow it habitually. So you can, enter in a biopic for the 2026, which I did. My pick is not any of the ones that I mentioned. It's a completely different company. It's actually research that someone else did that I trust dearly. Um, they're actually the person that came up with both plays, Abivax and Nectar Therapeutics last year. Nectar Therapeutics had about a 230-40% run, and Abivax obviously was like about, I don't know, 1,700-1,800% from its open in January, or from its price in January. So again, I mean, the source that my pick is coming from for biotech picks 2026, solid person. I mean, I piggybacked off his research, did my own research a little bit here and there, and I like the stock, so we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm not going to tell everyone that stock pick, because I don't want to, I told you boys it, but I don't want to jinx myself here.
Don't jinx yourself. I am curious. So the reason why I'm giggling is because the way I view Ken is that you guys remember that scene from Mission Impossible 1 when the guy's hanging down from the ceiling and he's like making sure that this information, he's collecting all the intel or whatever, but he can't touch the ground. Like that's what I envision Ken doing to all these companies. Like just going around the country, just like going into and breaking into these companies to get all the info. But meanwhile, I think Ken, all the information that you get is legal, so and public. So I don't, but I just, imagine, because he's scavenging and he knows when these things are coming out. He's really in tune with all the intel that's coming out. Question for you.
Yeah.
A lot of times people have been on the bandwagon of this company called Abcelera, ABCL.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it? Do you think it's a fugazi? No?
The people that I talk to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis are avoiding that with a 10-foot pole. None of them like it for various reasons. They just don't trust the science behind it. Let me just jog my memory about Abcelera. Their pipeline, right? Like they're looking for, one of their drugs is for like atopic dermatitis, if I remember correctly. Tough field. They're probably not going to hit on their primary endpoint. And I believe that's because another OX40L target missed on theirs as well, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't remember which company it was off the top of my head. So that generally could give you a good read through for another company's drug for the most part. I would personally avoid it. It was on my on my target list of things to buy. I have, like, people think I'm sketchy for this too. I text in my cell phone. I've got an iPhone. I text like this AAA thing, triple A. It's just a message chain of myself, and it's green text messages, and people are like, "Why do you text that?" These are my notes to myself.
I do that all the time.
Why don't you use notes on your iPhone? No, I use my text messages. It's easier. I copy and paste it. If I have an update, I don't know.
I send myself stuff on WhatsApp all the time.
Yeah, so I got that long running chain. And it's funny to look back sometimes on like tickers that I had on there, and I'm like, damn it, I should have bought that, or like, good thing I missed that one, right? But Abcelera is one of them. I was in it last year. I think I made, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10%, and then I just got out. It has run up a little bit, but I would personally avoid it. It's not a company I would get into. I do know people on FinX do like it, but BioX does not like it. So.
See, I like Ken's he's a different perspective, right? Because you were like, now let me ask a question. Is your portfolio strictly biotech right now?
I'd have to double check, but I don't believe so. I think most of it is. I know you fellows were talking about QXO. That's a position that I love. That is a position of mine. There's a few other companies that I'm starting to build out positions as well in. But yeah,
you were talking about QXO in like late 2024. I think.
Late when? I'm sorry.
I think you're talking about in like late 24.
Yeah, late
I remember.
24, early 25. Yeah, when it was, I think it was about what 10 or 11.
I remember
When I was,
being
yeah,
around
it
there.
was
Yeah.
it was relatively low. Yeah, correct. Um, so QXO is just predominantly one of the ones that's in my portfolio as well, but it's predominantly biotech, which I am starting to get out of biotech with some of my positions because some of them became way too heavily weighted in the portfolio because of good things happening. So we like
Any
when good
thoughts?
things.
Are you gonna keep reinvesting? Are you gonna take some of it off, put it into a dividend portfolio, listen to Hot Steve?
So yeah, so that's the it's going to be a mixture of like dividend and growth. And the growth company that I have in mind is obviously QXO. I've been uber bullish on it from the jump just because of Brad Jacobs, right? With what he did with United Rentals, XPO, and the waste management company. I forget the name of, I think it was American Waste. So Brad Jacobs is just a person to trust. So I like his, M&A thesis and strategy. Um, and then yeah, obviously dividends too, like just dividend reinvesting, just because you want to preserve capital. You don't want to let that go to waste. So yeah, I mean, obviously I've taken on a lot of risk in the past, year and a half, and I think it was you gentlemen that said like Ken getting, laid off, was it early last year, was probably one of the best things, which it really was. It was a blessing in disguise because I used to not be able to invest freely, right? Like I had all the restrictions that other people may not be, privy to. So I couldn't really invest in anything except for like exchange traded funds or mutual funds. And then once I, got laid off, it just opened up the floodgate. And then I went to a company where there were no restrictions. So,
Mhm.
which I might be going back to a company with restrictions. So,
Really?
yeah, we'll see. We'll work around it.
I mean, anything that you'll know. You're a smart guy. You'll be able
Yeah,
to
we'll figure it out.
let it.
So,
Yeah, you'll be able to gut check yourself.
exactly. So, any other questions about biotech?
Dude, I need to start throwing flyers whenever Hot Ken
I
says
listen. I always tell you guys whenever I have a play, I tell you guys. So
you have you have
I do.
that you
I
have.
did tell Steve to.
You were right on
I
QXO.
Steve, were we not on the phone last week? And I was like, listen, just take 5 to 10 grand and just buy T Raw and just forget about it. If you light the money on fire, poof, it's gone.
Yeah,
But if it
it's
hits,
a little hard for me to take seriously investing in a company where we could get some people together and just buy the fucking company.
I thought the same thing too.
Like
Yeah.
10 million market cap company is not something I really feel good about investing in.
No, not many people do. I mean, especially because you could buy the company outright. So
Do you have any other aside from QXO, any other non biotech related stocks that you like right now?
what was it? There's a few. What is it? Is it PTCT? Um, hang on. It's like a consumer industrial company. I obviously don't have the ticker on me though. Oh, hang on, guys. I gotta go.
All
Coming
right,
short. Sorry.
you're the man. You're good, bro.
Yeah.
Good seeing you,
Till
Ken.
next time.
Yeah, man. He's a good role model for society.
So, Biotech Ken, maybe we get him on once every like 2 weeks or something like that for a little biotech corner with Ken or something like that. But
I wouldn't hate it.
I don't hate it. Maybe we'll get that going at some point. I mean, I will say this.
There's a reason it's called Hot Ken.
He has a lot of freaking winners that I have never invested in. I think he's up something like 1,800 or 2,200% for 2025.
You
So
should
I
start a
mean,
blog. Why screw Screw going back to work. I don't know. Then again, I should probably do better about starting a blog or something that makes more money than YouTube. But
Yeah, Ken is a dangerous man. 100%. He's playing in the wild, wild west.
Steve, what are we doing the rest of the night? You don't have work tomorrow.
I have a meeting at 8 p.m. I have to finish my first X article. I was going to try to write a Seeking Alpha article, which I'm starting to feel like I'm not going to do. And industry at 9 o'clock. And I need dinner.
Steve, you're a good man.
So I think that's where I'm at for the rest of the night. I don't know. Where are you at?
I don't know. I'm waiting for more people to click on this article. Or not this
What
article.
article?
So tell us about the X thing. Is it just normal? If you get impressions, you get paid? Is it what's the
So a
Is it
lot of the
slightly
people
different?
who show up to the streams, they don't have Seeking Alpha accounts, and I was doing 5 articles a week. I'm doing 4 articles a week now, and I want to put more articles out on X so there's less behind a paywall. So I'm gonna try to do 2 articles a week on X, maybe one to 2 a week. So that way, everybody has access to it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. SmackDown, is that trolling or not? Is that true? A Night of the Seven Kingdoms debut is tonight at 10? Savage, you just have to write 1 article and you get free access to Seeking Alpha, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So some of you guys are putting in. I'm actually very curious. You've been trying to diversify, look at companies.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, Matt. They're right. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is tonight. Yeah, I'm not writing an article for Seeking Alpha. I'm going to be in front of a TV from 9 to 11.
You heard it here first, everybody. Don't be waiting up for Steve. Wait for his X article. If you guys have ticker symbols, please put them in the chat. I already wrote down Sidu WMIECQ. I think was the one that somebody recommended. No promises that I'll get to it.
What are we looking at?
Exxon, Uber, HWM. What's PATS?
I'm a big fan of Exxon.
Growl, PGY, CEG. Is it PGY or PGR? No, Planet Labs. I don't hate Planet Labs. I just prefer Rocket Lab. Sidu, if I remember correctly, that is it's like a infrastructure play. Oh no, it's a stock base. That's right. I'm thinking of TAL stock. No, what am I thinking? I'm trying to remember what I was thinking. Bros, already got bros, man. ABVX, is that the one that Hot Ken liked? UWMC. Remember seeing people say RBRK. Yeah, Steve said I thought I heard him say Exxon, not Axon.
Exxon.
Interesting. AGPU. What the heck is that? I'm mostly running down the companies that I don't know. Oh, there's Kenvue. No Kenvue. All right. Steve, is there any numbers in or any tickers in there that you're interested in looking at?
Not really.
You already have such a big wheelhouse. It's hard.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore, Matt. There's a lot of things I'm looking at, but I am trying to stick to what I understand from numbers, for better or worse. And there's just so many things that don't make sense and things that do. And the things that do make sense aren't working. So I'm really trying to go harder into Salesforce. I keep saying it, but the numbers make sense to me.
For people that are wondering about why Next and VG ran, so Henry Hub gas prices are back down to like $3, $3.25. Not the stuff you put in your gas tank, right? We're talking about the natural gas that heats your homes, stoves, etc. The natural gas power plants, etc. In Europe, it went from like a bottom of like $9 per MMBTU to over $12.50 in like the past couple weeks because there's a cold snap. So that's why you've seen a recent run in those companies. But that all being said, I'm seeing that there's a cold snap, obviously, in the Northeast. I just talked to my mom. She's got snow the past couple days. Same thing with a couple of my buddies up in the Northeast. Steve, how's it up there? Is it pretty chilly?
Yeah, it's fucking freezing.
Cold snap, or is it just normal?
It snowed yesterday. It snowed today. I mean, it's cold.
So you got cold snap going on in the Northeast, and abnormally cold from what I'm understanding in the Northeast. That might spike Henry Hub gas prices, and now if that happens, then you're once again going to have an impact on the spread between U.S. natural gas prices and European. So that might put a short-term pullback on Next Decade and Venture Global, but we'll see. Just regular in the New England, okay. Yeah, there definitely can be some issues associated with the EU threatening LNG imports as well. But if that's the case, I feel like that would spike natural gas prices in the EU. So if they say, oh, we're going to put a tariff, well, that might mean that people are going to stop selling spot there. So they stop selling spot. They have a demand and a supply that's not being met. The new Israeli gas field, I'm pretty certain that is an existing gas field. Is this an expansion? Hold on.
35 degrees in Florida. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's below 60 here today. Yeah, Leviathan's been around since like 2015, 2016. Noble started it. And I had a good buddy who I don't know if he works on it anymore, but he was working there for a long time. He was sending me crazy videos of Iron Dome in use back in the day when he was over there. Now I think he works for Chevron. I think when Noble Energy got bought out, which smart on them for Chevron to pick them up because Leviathan's a very profitable business for them. But Leviathan's massive asset. But there's going to be more. It comes on in Cyprus. There's been some recent discoveries in Cyprus. Potentially some more on the border of Cyprus, Israel. So I'm curious there's a lot of, because of the different maritime borders. There's a lot of dispute as to who owns what, who can drill where, because you have Cyprus, Israel, Egypt, all kind of, I don't want to say in that corner, but if you get closer enough to the Middle East or the Mediterranean eastern side, it does start to catch up, clump up a little bit. Steve, we calling it? We meet up tomorrow, 1 p.m.?
Yeah, I think we tomorrow 1 p.m. is good. Unless there's any other questions you want to answer. I mean, I need to get dinner. I got a meeting an hour and 10 minutes. We got to get Project X off the ground. And we got TV tonight. So,
Steve, I'm going to catch up on Billions, my man.
all right, so let's call.
Do you write when you watch these shows, or do you not write?
What do you mean?
Like I'm always curious how you're able to get through so much television, but also keep up with. You're just more efficient than I am. I'm always curious. Like, heard it here first, everyone.
So, all right, everyone. That's it for the small account challenge for week 1. Matt's currently in the lead. He does have some money tied up significantly longer than I. Tune in next Sunday to see where we are after week 2. We will be back tomorrow to do a little early day futures and investing. I will look into more about where the Trump stuff is headed. And we'll see you tomorrow around 1 o'clock. We'll figure it out. And around 1, 2 o'clock, maybe probably 1, we'll figure it out, but around there. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of the night.
Thank you.
What happened?
I said thank you all. That's all I said.
Thank you all. Have a great night. Talk to you later.